Hi, this is Ram Kumar and this is Essential Bollywood Vocabulary. Today we are going to talk about some general Urdu words. This is session number 11. Yes, we are 11 sessions strong. So here are some words. So the first word very commonly used is Chumma, which in English means a kiss and in Hindi it means a puppy. So it is very commonly used to denote a kiss, and a kiss means a lot. So everybody remembers his first kiss, whether they give the kiss or whether they receive the kiss. In the conscious memory or in the memory of the kisses you have got, the first kiss and especially the first romantic kiss is very special, right? A kiss from an unexpected source or from an expected source in a romantic context is very special, right? Need not be just romantic, anything, a chumma, right? So I do remember my first kiss. Not actually a kiss; it was more of a peck on the cheeks. When I passed out of my high school, a teacher gave me a peck on the cheek. A very strict teacher for 10 years, was stubborn and angry, and she was very strict. She gave me, when I passed out, she gave me a peck on the cheek, which I still remember. So chumma is that kind of a chumma, not a regular chumma, right? So regular chumma chati is something like you are just pawing a girl or pawing a guy, right? So chumma chati is used in a very insulting sense. Stop this chumma chati, right? Don't get physically intimate in for every other occasion. So chumma is something of a special kiss, right? So there are two three songs about Jumma Chumma De De is one famous song. Jumme ka din Jumme ka Vada. So that is another Jumme ki Raat hai, Chumme ki Baat hai. So it's always glorified. In a romantic context, the Chumma is glorified. Then we go to the word called var karna, right? So that means to attack someone in English. So what is the Hindi for that? You can say it is akraman or prahar karna. So to attack someone is to do var karna, and you need not do var with just swords or guns or whatever is your weapon. You can do a var with your nazar, with your eye or with your mouth or your tongue or boli. You can do a war with that. You can do a war with your beauty, right? So you can declare attack with so many things, not just with weapons, but with other parts of your body or things like that. So that is called war karna. Then we come to an important word for most of these patriotic movies or revolutionary movies. That's called inkalab. Inkalab stands for revolution, right? What is revolution is to the kranti in Hindi. So to kranti or kranti kar is called inkalab. Inkalab is revolution, and when you say inkalab zindabad, zindabad means long live. And when you say Inkalab Zindabad, you mean long live the revolution, right? So that's a cry of freedom, Inkalab Zindabad. And then we come to the next word, which is Karobar, which is a very sophisticated way of saying business, or in Hindi they call it Dhanda. So आप क्या धंधा करते हैं और आपका कारोबार क्या है? Equivalent. So when they say कारोबार, they mean business. Then we go to the next word. We already talked about Zameen. Zameen is dharti or bhumi in Hindi, or the earth in English. The sky is called asman in Urdu, and that in Hindi is called ambar. So they used to call that ambar in Hindi or sky in English, and in Urdu it is called asman, right? Very nice word actually, asman. And so important idiom to know when you say that there's a lot of difference between two things. You can say zameen और आसमान का फर्क है. So there's a difference of sky and earth in between two people. You say ज़मीन और आसमान का फर्क है. That means there is a very big gap between two people or two ideas or two things. So you say there is ज़मीन आसमान का फर्क. There's a difference of the sky and the earth. Then we come to three interrelated words. One is called sharaf, then is called sharafat, and then there's sharif. Sharaf is actually something that is gentlemanly or a gentleman, and Sharafat is being a gentleman or gentlemanly conduct, and Sharif is the category of people who are gentlemen, right? So people who are familiar with Bengali, they call it Bhadra. Bhadra means cultured, and Bhadra Lok means the cultured people. So that in Bengali there is Bhadra and Bhadra Lok, very very similar to Sharaf and Sharif and Sharafat. English is very simple, straightforward, gentleman, gentlemanly, and in Hindi is Sida Sada, right? A simple, straightforward person. It's a Sida Sada. There is no twist, or he's not very complicated. It's Sharaf, right? Sharif, and Sharafat. So you can ask somebody to be Sharif towards you, or you can tell Sharafat se pesh aao, or behave to me like a gentleman, right? So that's the meaning of the word gentleman, and gentlemanly conduct. The British people, the British English has a word called fairness, right? Which actually is not the skin color or something. It is actually being equal and equal opportunity and things like that. So that's also Sharif. So that is the fairness in the British English. I don't know any other language. So fair, Sharif, Sharafat, Sida Sada, Bhadra, Bhadralok, everything is in the same category of things. Then we come to a word called Kimti. Kimti is something that is costly, and in Hindi they call it Mehengi. So it is very important that not only things can be कीमती, actions can be कीमती also. तुम्हारा ये सलूक कीमती पड़ेगी और तुम्हारा ये हरकत कीमती पड़ेगा. So your gesture will be costly, or your actions can be costly, and or your words, तुम्हारे ये लफ्ज कीमती पड़ेंगे. Your words will be costly. So when you say something will be कीमती, you actually mean this will be costly, not in terms of just money, but in the terms of repercussions. So it's often used in courtly languages, or when there's a fight between the hero and the heroine, or the protagonist or the antagonist. They said Kimti is used in that context, not just in terms of price, but in terms of repercussions which go beyond the price. Then we go to a word called Manzoor. I should have clubbed that with words like Razi and Kabul. So Manzoor is acceptance, or saying yes, or being in Hindi they call it Sehmat. So that is Manzoor. And Na Manzoor means not accept or refuse, or Na in Hindi. So you can say Manzoor is Ha, and Na Manzoor is Nahi. So Manzoor is yes, and Na Manzoor is no. So that is the meaning of the word Manzoor. Then we come to the word called Zahar. Right? So Zahar and Zaharila, poison and poisonous, or toxic and toxicity. Zahar and Zaharila, that means a person full of venom, venomous, right? That would be the right word. So there is no equal translation into Hindi. You can call it Jeev Nashak. Nashak is something that destroys, and Jeev Nashak is something that destroys living thing. If you want to kill insects, you have insecticide, and they call it Kitanu Nashak. So it's all Jeev Nashak, Kitanu Nashak. But the important thing to understand about Zahar, it not just means the physical poison, that is something that kills you. It actually means to kill a state of things or a state of affairs. So you can have a zindagi full of Zahar, right? Your life has become poison, right? So that also exists. Like there's a song like Ab tere bin ji lenge hum, zahar zindagi ka pee lenge hum. He has lost his significant other, and that itself is zahar, and he's living a life full of poison, right? So he's been poisoned by his rejection of love or other things. So that also stands for zahar, not just a physical poison, an emotional poison also you can call as zahar. So it often comes up in the in relationships, right? So everything can be zahar, right? पैसों का zahar होता है. There is money that can be poisonous, right? पैसों का भी zahar होता है. Everything has zahar in it. The thing of being toxic, or as they say in English, one man's food is another man's poison, right? So for some people, even culture and society is poisonous in love, right? Culture, society is even poisonous in love. Where love is straightforward, and the culture and society is sophisticated, and they zahar घोल देते हैं रिश्तों में, right? So that means to mix venom in the relationships. So zahar is much beyond just a physical poison. So that is zahar, a very important word. Then we come to a word called katila. Katila, the meaning of the word katila is khuni or murderous. So katila, nazariya, katila, andaz, anything that is murderous, anything that is attacking or murderous, they call it katila. Katil actually means a murderer, and katila is something murdering or murderous. So that is, in Hindi it's simple, it's called khoon and khuni. So katil and katila, again two important words. Then we come to the word talash. Talash is a good word. It means to search for something, and in Hindi it means khoj. So people talash. So you can be in a state of being talash. मैं तलाश रहा हूँ. People are still searching for what they want. Very existential, you know. People are searching for the meaning which they want to make of their life. तुम किसकी तलाश में हो? Very deep word. That is the meaning of the word talash. Then we go to the word called pana. Again, very, very important word that actually in English means a refuge or an asylum or taking care and panha dena, right? In Hindi, you would call it a sthal or an ashram. Panha, you know, in the courtly language, you know, if you give panha to somebody, you give him a refuge or you give him an asylum or you take care of him. And there are people who are bepana, right? The old people, discarded animals. They are bepana, they're without anybody to take care of them. So pana and bepana, again, two very important words used often in Bollywood. So that is called bepana and pana. Ashram, Vishram, refuge, asylum, these are some of the translatable words. Then we come to an important word called kafila and caravan. Caravan, you know, it exists in English dictionaries called caravan, which is from the word caravan, which is a desert. They want to migrate, they take everything together to move from one place to another. There are not of resources, and that's a caravan. And the caravan is elongated and keeps going on. That's a caravan. And they also call it a kafila. In Hindi, you can call it a samaj. Samaj is maybe a stationary society, but as a kafila and caravan indicate a moving procession of things. So that's a kafila and caravan, and people want to join the kafila and caravan. We actually covered the word shamil. Shamil means to be a part or bhag lena in Hindi, to be accepted into a kafila, to be accepted into a caravan or a caravan. Kafila, caravan are two important words. Means a procession, or more importantly, it means a samaj or a society. Only thing, it is a movable, it's a moving thing, right? It's not stationary, because these words maybe originated in harsh climates where people were not stationary in one place. So they were out of resources, they couldn't do agriculture, so they had to move somewhere else. So that's the origination of the word caravan. And as an English proverb, the dogs bark and the caravan goes on. So that means the caravan is not affected by external events. So it's about survival. So that's the word caravan, kafila. Both of them are very important. Then we come to the word tarash. Tarashna. Tarashna means, you must have seen a sieve, right? A sieve, you put some wheat and chaff and you shake it, and the chaff is on the top, and the wheat and the chaff is removed from the top, and the wheat remains. So when you say somebody tarash raha means he's cleansing himself of impurities, himself or herself. So you know, tarashna means to clean or remove the impurities, right? You can do it with even diamonds, right? So even diamonds, you do that sieving process to remove impurities. Maybe it's removing impurities from wine, the dregs, right? You remove the dregs from the wine. So that's the meaning of the word tarashna. So we already talked about the word kami, lacuna, gaps. We already talked about the word kami, right? So when you say kami tarashna, means to remove your lacunae or to remove your bad things. So that is the word tarashna. It's like sieving, right? So sieving you must have come across. Then we come to another very important word called noor. Noor in English is just light, and in Hindi it is ujala or batti. Batti is the lamp and ujala is light, used interchangeably. So noor actually means light, and one of India's precious jewels was called the Kohinoor. That's a diamond, and you all know that diamonds trap light, or they have a reflection to trap light, and that's why they sparkle, right? So Kohinoor is a sparkling diamond. So that is noor, right? Noor is the light or the ujala. Then we come to a word called hoor. Hoor is the Urdu for a damsel, not just a damsel, some sort of celestial being like a fairy, yes, a fairy. But hoors don't grant wishes, so they are not exactly fairies. They are celestial beings, right, which of imagination. And in Hindi, it's very clear there were apsaras, damsels, heavenly damsels, right? Whose beauty and is otherworldly. They are called hur. So that is the meaning of the word hur. I think it derives from some Arabic word called hauri, I think, and that's why in Urdu they call it hur, and it comes up often in songs, right? Hur koi mil jaye. Should I want to get a damsel, right? So that's the meaning of the word hur. Then we come to two important words, Jannat, which actually means heaven and in Hindi means Swarg, and Jahannum, which actually means the hell or Narak in Hindi. So Jannat and Jahannum, however, it need not be otherworldly. I don't think many people use the word Jahannum unless they are cursing somebody, but Jannat is used often to denote a paradise and need not exist, outside of the earth, right, or outside of the cosmos. It need not be otherworldly. It can be inside the cosmos. Jannat is a place where everybody is happy. So you say tumko jannat hasil ho means hasil. I already explained to you means you are capable or you get it or it is obtainable. जो अपने हाथ में है. So jannat hasil ho means may you get the life of your choice, right? So that exactly means jannat, right? It's not just heaven or some religious thing. Then we come to the word hissa. Hissa is also an important word. Hissa means to take part in something. To bhag lena, to kisi mein hissa lena. That is means to take part in an activity. So you can go to a group of people and say, I want to take hissa in this. That means I want to take part. However, there are other connotations in Koti language. Hissa also means a portion or a parcel of property, right? So that also is a bhag or a portion. So you can go and ask, "Mera hissa kya hai?" You omit the word for property and you just directly say hissa. So it implies that you are asking about something, a property or something. But generally, in the loving language, hissa means what is your portion or what you get, right? So you can use a hissa on the kitchen table. What is my hissa in today's dinner? You can use that in that context. Need not be always talking about big things. So that is the meaning of the word hissa. So this is Ram Kumar. I'm signing off from Essential Bollywood Vocabulary session number 11. I hope you had a good time. Please like, subscribe, ask me questions on words you want to know. I will be glad to explain them to you in both English and Hindi and also the context of other movies. Hope you have a nice weekend. Thank you.